Hey you. I don't know why I say hey you. So, I feel like I owe you an apology. Well, a thank you and an apology. It's like now that I'm out of the labyrinth, the game, whatever you want to fucking call it, and I know the puzzle pieces on the other side, it's like 1,000,000 pounds of pressure is off. And I also realized that for you, it probably felt like really crazy because I can see now as I would figure something out, have a download come in, a memory come back, crazy shit happen pretty much. It was almost like all the pressure and everything that I had on my shoulders. There was a part where I had to be honest with you and figure out words, but like almost hoping you had a dream, something, anything, any kind of something that could help piece another puzzle part together. But now that I'm like out of that and everything, I realized that it was when it would come in so fast, that it would come out so fast for you. So I'm sorry about that, like, because it comes in like a dictionary and then goes to like quote size version. And I have felt so crazy this year that I have like now embraced it all, but it's like it all slowed down. It was like it was a roller coaster going down the one side. Dogs are fucking crazy, isn't it? And now I'm off the ride. So it's completely different. It's actually fucking amazing. So all of that like slowed down, the pressure is gone, all of that kind of shit, which is fucking amazing. But in the meantime, that meant that like you felt the fucking roller coaster ride while I was on the roller coaster ride. So I apologize for that, but need to also say that I'm sorry also, like, as I was learning and remembering things, I love people's souls. I knew my husband when I met him at 15. Within 2 weeks, I told my best friend, I know that I marry him and have a baby with him. Did I want marriage or any of that shit back then? No. But I know whose souls have been with me before. I like recognize their soul. So, in saying that, I was like reliving different lives for the last year, pieces, parts, all of it that would like puzzle piece back together that also had all sorts of other puzzle pieces for what I was supposed to be doing. So, in saying that I love you, I love your soul. I know your intention, like your core soul, who you are. That I love. And I have loved for many lifetimes. What I need to like clarify now that I'm off the like roller coaster ride, which was one of my lessons that I think I have verbally puked to you in one of the roller coaster rides. So hopefully you're like caught up on that shit. I swear they are fucking crazy tonight. Hey, crazy. Ziggy, stop it. Now I think I forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh, that my biggest lesson has been having to learn that I see people's souls and their hearts and their true potential and all of that shit. Not knowing before that I was doing that my whole life, I've now had to learn that here now in this life, they still have to do the action steps in the like 3D, not 5D. And that has been a journey for me. But I just wanted to like clarify that shit. I might love your soul. I might know things even if you don't have to speak words, which is good for you because sometimes you're really shitty at speaking words, just saying. But you still have to earn my heart in this lifetime if you ever wanted to. You have earned my body. That is where the last video came from, because you've earned that, because I know what you can do and what you have done in other lifetimes before, and I have no doubt in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, I would not still be fucking talking to you or myself, because you're a stubborn pain in my ass sometimes, for a year. Because you intrigue my body and my mind. Which, that is an amazing thing. So, in saying that, I hope one day that you, try and show me and earn my time, attention, and heart. But I'm not gonna chase you. I don't chase. When I knew shit was heavy and hard, I was gonna try and always be a light, a smile, a shift in your perspective that day. But I don't chase. You have been an exception, in a weird way, to the rule on a lot of things. But I want to leave you with a few things to think about. Because remember when I said student, teacher, teacher, student? I'm always okay to be a student. But are you ever okay to be a student? Because that's one thing with me. I will be a fucking student, and I am open to learning anything, any day. But I want you to think about a few questions. Because, questions, asking yourself questions are the key to everything, really. It's what I do with my, coaching clients and shit, too. I want you to ask yourself, are you making any decisions in your life right now based on past experiences you've had? And if you say yes to that, did any of those past experiences end up fucking amazing? If they didn't, then why are you navigating your future based on a map you had before? You're not the same person. You're not dealing with the same people in the same situation. Because I have this feeling that you're in a spot that I was in for a minute, where it's like we finally got to protect ourselves and finally stand up for ourselves and finally get out of bad situations and breathe. And once we did that, we almost promised ourselves that we would never, ever be back in that situation and shit like that again. What I had to learn and realize, which actually you triggered a lot of that shit for me to learn and realize from, all I ever had to trust was me. You're giving your power away. If you ever think someone else has the ability to hurt you, that's what I had to realize, was I was the one always hurting me. Staying somewhere, not doing something because I plan out the outcome on how bad it could be. If you're ever not doing anything, doing something that might feel good, but you plan the ending. Have you ever seen the ending or planned the ending to say something's not worth doing? Isn't that based off fear, false evidence appearing real? Because it didn't happen and you're a different person. I just see the pattern of saying no to things because we're trying to plan an outcome and it looks similar to the past pain. So I would say no to things that could bring actual joy and happiness, because I didn't want to deal with an ending that didn't exist, instead of just enjoying something for what it was and not putting a label and expectations on it. And that is part of the piece that I need to apologize for, because as I was reliving all sorts of crazy ass shit, I know that the pressure and the everything that I was feeling on my shoulders to hurry and figure out the thing, because I felt like a clock ticking pressure of the weight of the world, literally. I know that as I was like learning and reliving these memories, that pressure was coming off on you. And so I'm sorry for that, because I never really meant to give you pressure. Literally, I wasn't ever meaning to give you pressure. All I ever want with you, because I know who you are. I love your soul. Yes. Which means to me, there's nothing with looks or anything like that, as long as you're trying and growing and showing up every day like that kind of shit in your own life and present, that I would ever care about that I didn't know about. Because if I know your soul, that's totally different. And we change all the time if we are actually playing the game of the labyrinth to like win at life, the game of life, that kind of shit. I guess I just want you to ask yourself questions. Are you saying no to an amazing night or weekend of just fucking pleasure? Because I'm sorry, I wouldn't be talking to you a year later if you didn't drive me fucking primal. And I know, because I can feel the energy with you, that I make you go primal. Without anything else. Why do you not allow yourself pleasure? Before, I never even was like paying attention. Now I'm at this point of like, Dennis, Daddy, don't put a future in a label. Do you really think, I know for me, not ever, after a year, not ever having your hands on my body and that in my head, like what if, all of that kind of shit, that would be the worst what if ever. I would much rather, even if nothing else, I'm not saying, I would love no matter what to get to know you better and all of that shit. But I'm talking about not planning the future and living only with what we have, which is living in the moment and saying yes and shooting your shot kind of shit, to have fun and be happy in the moment. Otherwise, we are focused in the rear view, which means we attract more of that shit because we are thinking and focused on that, which is literally manifesting the same shit in your future. If you're not aimed at your future and saying yes to the scary shit, because you always have two. You always have two choices. You have an easy that feels good because it's not scary. And then you have one, just like you did to me and you do to me, where it's like this leveling up, but it's terrifying. You don't know it. You don't have a map, which is where I had a lot of like freak out when I finally had to like totally free fall surrender. Because our brains are used to having a map. Our intuition guides us so freaking much that we know we trust when we are like making choices. Sometimes we can totally overthink, and when we overthink, that's bad. But we don't get maps for anything going forward. We've only known shitty. At least for me, I've known shitty, which means anything great is what I'm scared of. that is similar to you, I had to realize that the only reason I was like hesitant, scared, whatever, I don't know, was because I had to realize that I didn't know something with amazing potential like that, like you, before. I guess best way to put it. Something with amazing potential was not usually something that I had in my world with on my radar, or the endings of it, any of that shit. So I had realized that actually like a potential for like a really happy situation, that was actually my fear and the leveling up part, and it was a no shit. So I just don't want you to ever do that in your life. I don't care if it's for me, I'm saying in general, period. Don't say no to things, Mad Daddy. Don't let your past pains navigate your future. Don't use that as your map. Jump and do scary shit. But it's okay, because as soon as I have my fucking shady fucker money, which 44 million is on the agenda within the next like few weeks, and then he'll have 30 days, which is actually where I was today doing videos for all of my coming out for the LDS church shit. Then I will just, offer you a salary with lots of zeros, and then what you gonna do, fuck? You might be fucked. What you gonna do when I offer you the position that I've been telling you about with lots of zeros attached to it? Are you gonna have to say hi to me then? Shit. And if you know anything about me, I don't give up. I win in work world. I go and fight and get whatever the fuck I want in work world. So I have a class action lawsuit, or their option A that happens to be 44 million in the whole agenda, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's interesting. But what would you do then? I know you don't understand a lot of the shit I talk about. I know you don't. You probably think I'm crazy in a lot of it. And you don't understand a lot of the other pieces. And that's okay. All I know is what I am shown and guided to do, and everything has always worked out that way for a reason. And I know no matter what, you are a person that is meant to help the cause. Out of the 25 people that I will be bringing on salary for and all of that shit, yeah. What you gonna do when I send you a job offer with zeros? You gonna run from money and me? How's that gonna work out for you? Like I said, in work world, I get what I want in work world. Unless I need to be taught, and then I'm totally open. I just don't want you ever letting your future be blocked. Because you deserve to, you've earned happiness. You have earned the right to have fucking pleasure and say yes to things that make you happy. Not because we're scared of drama hitting us ever again. Because I trust myself enough to know my self-worth that I am not accepting any of that shit. Any of that shit is not allowed in my space and in my life. So, nope, not an option. So, hopefully, you are saying yes to lots of other shit that I just don't know about, and that you are having a fucking blast, and not your basic same shit every day. All of that. That would drive me fucking bonkers. I like a schedule and I like that kind of shit, but I need some like joy, bliss, magic in my world all the time. Even if I have to create it myself, which I'm very good at. But anyways, smile.